Hi guys, and welcome to Reensplace Mini Food Monday. This is our Tuesday edition though, because we had some major plumbing problems in my house for the last couple days and I wasn't able to film. So it's Tuesday, but I'm doing my Mini Food Monday, and on today's menu is going to be vinegar chicken, roasted potatoes, and green beans. So let's get started. First I'm going to do is I have my stove warming up. And I've already washed these potatoes, and I'm going to cut them and season them and get them in the oven. So I have my new wood cutting board. Let's try that one. And now I've been warming this up on the stove. So let's just cut them up into chunks. The smaller I cut them, the faster they will cook. Okay. So I don't know if vinegar chicken is something that we I don't know if we made it up or what, but I remember my mom used to make chicken on the bone in the oven with like a creamy vinegar sauce. And when I got older, I started making this version of it. And this is the one that we all make now, my kids and I. So it's a favorite of ours, and I feel like whenever I make this, I like to make either mashed potatoes or some kind of potato, and I also like to have green beans. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so again, I'm just going to roast these potatoes up. And I think I'm only going to do those two because you want them to have a little room in the pan. And I'm not sure how crispy these will get because I normally do this in my kitchen, I normally do this in a 400-degree oven. However, my oven here only goes up, I think, to 350. So I'm going to douse them with a little olive oil. I'm going to give them a little salt. A little black pepper. I think I'm going to use over here a little garlic, and if I can find it, I'm going to do some parsley. I think it's here. Okay, so just a little garlic powder. A little parsley, and then we can just toss these up a little. Make sure everybody's coated with the oil and the spices. We're going to go over here to our preheated oven. I'm going to set a timer for 20 minutes. When I come back, I'll check and see if how they're doing. And when I'm about 20 minutes from being finished, then we're going to start the chicken, which is a really simple thing to do, and it's going to go real quick. So I'll be back when these potatoes are... Okay, guys, we're back. It's about, I'm trying to think how long I've had them in here. I think I've had them in for about 20-ish minutes, and they're cooking, but they're definitely not done yet. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start our other side, which I told you earlier is green beans, because I feel like when you make vinegar chicken, you need green beans. So I have a little bowl of green beans, and I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. I'm going to roast them in the oven right alongside the potatoes. So I'm going to put them in. This pan's a little warm, but not hot. Put them in there. Also adding a little olive oil to this. I have to refill some of my pantry staples. Okay, we got that. And again, I'm just going to give them a little salt and pepper. That's all I put on my green beans. You could do a little garlic or whatever you like, but I think salt and pepper is fine. Okay, that was a lot of pepper, but I like pepper, so I'm okay with that. Okay, now we're just going to give this a little Okay. I'm going to move the potatoes over a little bit. I'm going to put the green beans right alongside. Those will keep going. Now let's get the chicken going. First of all, I need to get my cast iron pan on here and warming up. So let's do that. And, okay. We'll get the chicken. I forgot to get the chicken out. Let's come to the kitchen, the fridge. Chicken. Okay, and I just have chicken breast here. This is how we always make it. You can do this in cutlets. You can do it in slices. You can do it in chunks. I'm going to do kind of a small slice. And I probably don't even need all of this, but I'm just going to do them in like this. Do that one like that. And I think probably just maybe one more. We probably don't need all of this chicken. These are a little large, like cutlets almost, so I'm going to give them a chop in half. And this recipe, again, is a family favorite. Something that when my kids were home, we used to make this quite often, probably once a week or once every 2 weeks. Probably once every 2 weeks. Okay, I'm going to throw the one potato in my onions. Put my dirty thing there. Put this one chicken breast back in the fridge. And now we're going to have to dredge this. So I'm just going to get a pie plate. I'll get some regular flour. And to this, I'm just going to add a little salt and pepper. And that's all the seasoning you need for this. The flavor is all in the gravy that you're going to make. Okay. Then just give this a little mix. I'm going to grab another pie plate so we can, and again, you're not using an egg wash or anything, you're just dredging it. So take your pieces of chicken into the flour. See, this goes pretty quickly. And the reason that you do this is not because it's going to be crispy, because it's not. It's going to cook in the gravy, but it is going to thicken the gravy, and it gives it a nice light coating that does stay on even though it's sitting in a gravy. Kind of like chicken piccata or chicken marsala, how it has that coating on even though it's soft, it's on there. That's what this will feel like. Okay, what we need to do is we need to get some oil into the frying pan, and not too much because this oil is going to become part of your sauce. So I'm going to just pour a little bit in. We're going to let that heat up. I am going to clean up this mess here. And then when the oil's hot, we'll come back, we'll fry this chicken, get the gravy going, and check on our potatoes and green beans. Okay, so let's check if this oil is hot. I think it is. We're going to go by putting one little piece in there and see what happens. little bit. Get my pinches out. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, let's get everybody in the pool. We fit. I hope they fit. If it doesn't, we could do it in 2 batches. Probably a better idea, but let's see. Okay, we'll do that much for now. And I'm going to need a little plate with some napkins. Actually, I don't. I can just put it in a bowl because it's going to be part of the gravy, right? That's right. Okay, I'm just going to put this little bowl here, and as they're done, we can transfer them to that and then get the next batch of chicken going. Okay, these don't take very long, but they do need to cook, so I'm going to turn them like I just did, and I'm going to let them sit a minute. I can smell the potatoes. I can't really smell the green beans yet, but I do smell the potatoes cooking. So, are there any meals that you make that you have to make certain side dishes with? I said that with this meal, I always like to have potato and green bean, but I was thinking there's another meal that I like that I also like to have potatoes and green beans, and that would be pork chops of any kind. If I make pork chops, I always need to have potatoes au gratin and, again, some kind of green bean. I'm going to check and see what is going on here. Let's see. Let's check this again. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second, and when they're ready to come out, I'm going to show you what they look like, and then we'll put the second batch in together. Okay, so these are cooked. They are not golden, but they are cooked through. And those are a little golden on the bottom, but they're finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these to this bowl here, and that's on the stove. It will keep them warm. And then we're able to finish the second half of the batch of chicken. And then we're going to turn this into a delicious sauce. Okay, so let's get this chicken in. That's 2 pieces, yes. And I'm just going to throw that in there. Okay, and we're going to do the same as the first batch. We're going to, let me show you how they look. If I could pick one up. I don't know if you can see on camera, but it's a very light golden, and that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. I want the pink to be all gone, and just a very light gold on the batter. So I'm going to finish cleaning up the kitchen a little. We'll come back when these are ready, and then we will add the sauce, and we'll check on the potatoes and the green beans. Okay, we're back. The chicken is looking good. Let's see. Again, it's golden, but very light still, and that's fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rest of the chicken that we cooked earlier back into the pan. And then this is where I make the gravy. I'm going to put these tongs to the side. And now the only thing that we're adding here, we need some chicken broth. I'm going to just put it in here. I'll put this back in the fridge to see if we need any more or not. And you can tell how hot the pan is by how fast that's warming up. To the chicken broth, we're adding a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I'm not adding all this, just a little. That should do. And then you're just going to let this simmer. It should thicken up just from the flour that's coating our chicken, but if not, we can help it along. So we're just going to let that go. And let's get our table set. Table. Napkin. Fork. Glass. Thickening up a little bit, but it's not quite gravy yet, so let's let that go. I'm not going to add nothing to this, I'm just going to let it simmer. So I'll come back in about 5 minutes and we'll see how thick it is to see if we need to thicken it ourselves or if it's done a good job on its own. Okay, so it's been a few minutes and it looks like it's thickening up pretty nicely, so I'm not going to add anything to it. I'm going to give it a little stir. And now let's get those green beans and the potatoes out. What I'm going to do is stick that way a little bit. Roasted potatoes and some green beans. Looking good. Whoops. Okay, I think we're done, honestly. Let me turn off the oven and plate up our dinner. Okay, so what do we have here? I think I'll use this one. Roasted potatoes. Green beans, and finally some vinegar chicken. Now it's not the most beautiful looking plate ever, but I can tell you it's going to be delicious. Okay, here we have it. Let me get my picture so we can make a nice thumbnail. Turn it around real quick. Can't wait to taste it. Okay, let's have a taste. First, I'm dying to try a potato. Perfectly cooked, perfectly seasoned. I could tell when I put the fork in it that it was completely cooked. The green beans, on the other hand, a little crunchy still. Tastes good. I probably would give them a couple more minutes, but definitely good. And I can't wait to eat the chicken. Really good. I love the gravy. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Mini Food Monday. And again, that was, excuse me, vinegar got me. That was vinegar chicken, roasted potatoes, and green beans. And thank you for watching Mini Food Mondays. This week is Tuesday. And make sure you stop by Thursday for another recipe in the Big Kitchen. If you haven't done so, please hit the red subscribe button and don't forget to like and share this video.